Hello guys, how are you? Welcome to the course. So I would like to start this intervention of today with a little fragment of a poem that I think might be quite relatable, taking into account the current circumstances in which we are all connected these days, right? More than ever. This is a poem by John Donne that is actually on the introduction of For Whom the Bell Tolls by Ernest Hemingway, and it goes like this. No man is an island, untied on itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. Any man's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind, and therefore never sent to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for you. Well, as I mentioned, this is by John Donne, and it is in the introduction of Ernest Hemingway, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Well, my friends, so we're going to start with this course that is the elective one. And from now on, hopefully, we remember to call it literature and language teaching. So, this is the, the subject about. So, basically, some of you are actually taking also Anglo-Saxon literature of 10th semester. In that particular subject, we basically study the relationships of literature with culture, with linguistics, with let's say everything related to beliefs, religion, and different things advancing into a different periods of time. Well, this subject is also about literature, but we're going to be focused into analyzing literature as a tool, right? So over here, we're not going to really study literature in itself like we do in 10th semester, but we're going to use it as a tool for teaching. Okay, so everything that we do in here will be related to the teaching potentialities of literature. So how can I use literature, meaning tales, poems, fragments of novels, different manifestations of literature into our teaching practice. Okay, so it's important that you take that into account at all moments, at all times. That the most important over here is not like teaching literature itself or knowing about this or that author, but mostly how can I use that in order to teach English. That is basically what you have over there in your profile as future teachers, or some of you are already teachers in different institutions or in some other places, in your practicum maybe, right? Uh, so hopefully we can use and we can apply some of the things that we're going to cover today. Well, in this subject in general, not only today, uh, in your teaching practice. Well, guys, so as I mentioned in some former videos, the idea is that we're going to follow the presentation of PowerPoint that I have attached already in the Edmodo platform. So if you can be so kind and go over there, download the presentation if you haven't, or if you have it already, open it, and we are going to the slide number 2. So there's a question over there. It says, why teach literature, right? Like, what is the importance of teaching literature? And I would like you to ask that yourself right now, before like any of you like consider these future contents that we're going to cover, just your previous knowledge. Okay, so we're going to have like what I something that I have called in other classes like a Dora moment, like Dora the Explorer, right? In which I'm going to ask you a question right now, and you're going to try to answer it over there in your screens. Of course, I'm not going to listen to you, but well, there are some moments in which I require you to question yourselves, and the idea is that this is one of those. So there are many reasons why we can teach literature. Uh, but I have sort of organized this for this particular class into three. Yes, three main reasons why it may be positive or desirable or good to teach literature. Right. The first of them as you can see over there, is the internalization of the language, right? So basically, by means of literature, we are able to internalize the language and reinforce points or ideas previously learned, yes, previously approached. Now, if you can see over there, there's a little statistic that says that about 90% of native speakers learn their words in the context. They don't necessarily use a dictionary, but they try to do an informed guess, right? What is that? Like, I more or less, if I don't know the meaning of a word, I try to extract it from the context, and I try to guess what is the meaning of that. So for me as a native speaker, it's really, let's say, easy somehow, or not so difficult at least, to try to guess the meaning of a particular word. Okay, but why is that? Why is it so easy for us, like from a sentence, to sort of guess or extract the meaning of a particular word, even if I don't know what is it? Yes. Try to think about that. Why do you think that for you as a native speaker it's possible to do that? And the answer is this. Basically, we have usually a large body of vocabulary, right? Like we are able to, in a sentence of 6 or 7 or 8 words, we are able to know all of the other words or most of the other words. There's only one in the middle or somewhere around that we really don't know. So, by means of understanding the whole context, it's very likely that we're going to find the meaning of that particular word, right? Now, that it's about native speakers. But what about foreign learners? Yes, like any of us, hopefully, or any of your students, current or future. Well, that is the problem, right? Let's say that, and I usually use this word for example. So I don't know if you're aware of the meaning of the word concoction. Any of you know what does it mean? I repeat it one more time. Concoction. Well, probably many of you or some of you don't know the meaning of that, right? Now let me try to put that into a particular, okay? That's fine. Into a particular sentence, okay? So let's try to guess the meaning of the word concoction. Please don't cheat. Try to just do it with the knowledge that you have. The Commodore commanded his men the concoction. I repeat one more time. The Commodore